Good morning to everyone. Myself B. Tulsi Koteswari Bai, lecturer in chemistry, Sir CRR College for Women. I am dealing the subject chemistry for third BSc, semester 5, chemistry paper 5A. Title is Inorganic, Organic and Physical Chemistry. Today's topic is Werner's theory. In this topic, I am explaining postulates, structure, evidences, applications and limitations. First, postulates of Werner's theory. Coordination compounds are known since from 18th century, but its property structure was not explained by any theory. So for this, scientist Alfred Werner worked on these molecules and proposed a new concept, auxiliary valencies, and proposed a theory known as Werner's theory. The main postulates of this theory are: first postulate is metals possesses two types of valencies, namely primary and secondary. Primary valency or principal or ionizable valency. Secondary valency is also known as auxiliary or non-ionizable valency. Now let us see what are primary and secondary valencies. First of all, what are primary valencies? Primary valencies are those which a metal normally exhibits in the formation of its simple salts. Thus, in the formation of PtCl4, CuSO4 and AgCl, the primary valencies of platinum, copper and silver are 4, 2 and 1 respectively. That is, in platinum chloride, the primary valency of platinum is 4. In copper sulfate, primary valency of copper is 2. In AgCl, primary valency of silver is 1. And then the primary valencies are satisfied by only negative ions. Next one goes to secondary valencies. Secondary valencies are those in which metal cation exercises towards a neutral molecule or negative groups in the formation of its complex ions. Thus, secondary valencies may be satisfied by negative ions or neutral molecules having lone pair of electrons, examples such as H2O, NH3, or even sometimes by some positive ions. In modern terminology, primary valency corresponds to oxidation number and secondary valency corresponds to coordination number. Generally, primary valencies are shown by dotted lines, secondary valencies are shown by thick lines in the Werner structure. The second postulate of Werner is every metal has a fixed number of secondary valencies. That is, every metal has fixed number of secondary valencies. The total number of secondary valencies required by a metal is more commonly known as its coordination number. That is, a metal has fixed number of secondary valencies which is equal to its coordination number. Next, third postulate, the secondary valencies are always directed towards fixed positions in space about the central metal ion. Again, I am revising the three postulates. What is first postulate? Metals possesses two types of valencies, primary and secondary. Primary valencies corresponds to oxidation number, secondary valencies corresponds to coordination number. Second postulate is every metal has fixed number of secondary valencies. The total number of secondary valencies required by a metal is known as coordination number. Third postulate is the secondary valencies are always directed towards fixed positions in space around the central metal ion. So these are represented by thick lines. So thus the number and arrangement of ligands, that is secondary valencies in space, determines the stereochemistry of a complex. That is, by knowing the number of secondary valencies and their arrangement, the geometry of the complex is determined. Thus, in a case of 6 ligands, 6 secondary valencies, the arrangement is octahedral. That is, the structure of the complex is octahedral. In case of four ligands, the arrangement may be square planar or tetrahedral. But primary valencies are non-directional. They are not in fixed position. So these are represented by dotted lines. So to distinguish between the two types of valencies, Werner introduced the square brackets in which the secondary valencies are included in the square brackets. The portion enclosed in the bracket is known as coordination sphere. The portion present outside the bracket is known as ionizing sphere. Secondary valencies are placed inside the coordination sphere. Primary valencies are placed outside the coordination sphere. Next, I am explaining the structure by taking different examples. First example is COCl3 6NH3 molecule. COCl3 6NH3 molecule contains 3 primary valencies, 6 secondary valencies. The 3 primary valencies as 3 chloride ions, 6 secondary valencies as 6 ammonia molecules. In the center, the metal atom is placed, cobalt. These thick lines are represented by 6 secondary valencies, 6 ammonia molecules. These are fixed, these are in fixed positions. These three dotted lines are represented the primary valencies. These are ionizable valencies, so represented with dotted lines. The compound COCl3 6NH3 may be formulated as CONH3 6 times Cl3. That is, within the square brackets, the secondary valencies are represented. Outside the square brackets, primary valencies are represented. Secondary valencies are non-ionizable, primary valencies are ionizable. There are 6 ammonia molecules in the compound. They alone satisfy the 6 secondary valencies of cobalt. These are directly attached to the cobalt atom and are shown by thick lines as shown in the above figure. The oxidation state of cobalt is +3. It is satisfied by the 3 chloride ions. These are shown by dotted lines and kept outside. These are loosely bound. The primary valencies are loosely bound and these are ionized and thus precipitated on addition of silver nitrate. Example 2 is COCl3 5NH3. Here there are 3 primary valencies, 5 secondary valencies. But in the second postulate of Werner said every metal has fixed number of secondary valencies. So here for cobalt there must be 6 secondary valencies, but here only there are 5 secondary valencies. So to satisfy the secondary valency, one chlorine atom goes inside the square brackets. So that is, it behaves as dual behavior, that is by primary valency and also secondary valency. So it is written as, in the center there is cobalt. These 5 thick lines represents 5 secondary valencies and these 2 dotted lines represents primary valencies. But this chlorine atom behaves as dual behavior because actually it is a primary valency. But to satisfy the secondary valency, this chloride ion goes inside the coordination sphere. So this chloride ion does not ionizes. So it behaves as dual behavior. It is shown by both lines, one thick line and one dotted line. The structure of the above complex is COCl3 5NH3. This complex has only 5 molecules and thus one chloride ion must be present inside the coordination sphere so as to satisfy the 6 secondary valencies of cobalt. The 3 primary valencies of cobalt are satisfied by 3 chloride ions. So here one chloride ion assumes a dual behavior, that is, it satisfies both primary as well as secondary valency of cobalt. Such chloride ion is shown by thick as well as the dotted lines in the above structure. That ion having dual behavior is not ionized. It is present in the coordination sphere and hence not precipitated by silver nitrate. So this complex ionizes only two chloride ions. Next example. Next example is COCl3 4NH3. Here there are only 4 NH3 molecules. These 4 NH3 molecules are represented by thick lines. But to satisfy the 6 secondary valence of cobalt, in this molecule, two chloride ions goes inside the coordination sphere. These two chloride ions has dual behavior. So these are represented by one dotted line and one thick line. This dotted line chloride ion represents the primary valency. The compound COCl3 4NH3 may be formulated as CONH3 4 times Cl2 Cl. The part written in the square brackets is coordination sphere, which is not ionized. That is, these two chlorine atoms comes from outside to inside the coordination sphere to satisfy the 6 coordination number, 6 secondary valencies. So here only one chloride ion is ionizable. It has only one ionizable chloride ion since two chloride ions are present inside the coordination sphere to satisfy the 6 secondary valency of cobalt. Next example number 4. In this example, COCl3 3NH3. It is formulated as CONH3 thrice Cl3. There are no chloride ions outside the coordination sphere. So it has no ionizable chlorine atom and hence behaves as non-electrolyte. It is non-ionizable. Its structure is given as, in the center it is cobalt metal atom. These three thick bonds are secondary valencies. These three chlorine atoms behaves as dual behavior. That is, these three satisfies both primary and secondary valencies. Next, the coordination compounds of COCl3 with NH3. These four molecules are given in the table. In the first molecule, the total number of ions formed is 4. In that, the ionizable chloride ions are 3. This modern formula is CONH3 6 times Cl3. That is, the chlorine atom presence outside the coordination sphere are ionized. The charge on the complex ion or in this metal is 3 plus. Next example is COCl3 5H3. The total ions formed for this molecule is 3. In this, the ionizable chloride ions are 2. Since here only 5 ammonia molecules are there, to satisfy the 6 secondary valency, one chlorine atom goes inside. So there are outside only 2. Only these 2 must be ionized. The charge on the complex is +2. Next example is COCl3 4NH3. In this, the total ions formed are 2. Number of ionizable chloride ions are 1. Since here only 4 ammonia molecules are there, to satisfy the 6 secondary valency, 2 chlorine atoms goes inside the coordination sphere. So outside there is only one chloride ion, so only one chloride ion is ionized. The charge on the complex is 1 plus. Next, last example, COCl3 3NH3. Here the total number of ions is 0 since it is non-ionizable. Here one chloride ion, no chloride ion ionizes since all are goes inside the coordination sphere. There are no chloride ions in the ionization sphere. So there is no charge on the complex. That complex is neutral. Next, evidences for the Werner's theory. First evidence is chloride ion activity. In the above example, that is Werner's theory of coordination compounds of cobalt 3 with ammonia explains different number of ionizable chloride ions in different complexes. In the above example, we see that number of ionizable chloride ions. It is one of the evidence for the Werner's theory. He was also able to assign correctly whether a particular chloride ion only satisfied the primary valency or it had a dual role. Next, second evidence. Second evidence is total number of ions formed. The total number of ions formed by a complex proposed by Werner is found to be in accordance with the molar conductivity of its solution. Because the number of ions produced, then it will have more conductance. So the complex having more number of ionizable ions will have more conductance. That is the total number of ions formed by a complex which is equal to the molar conductivity of its solution, which is also another evidence for Werner's theory. Next, third evidence is number and type of isomers. The number and structure of isomers proposed by Werner were found to be in accordance with the observed fact. These three are evidences for the Werner's theory. Next topic is applications. Applications of Werner's theory. First application is it predicts the exact structure of each complex. Second application is it explains why a particular metal atom and particular ligand forms different complexes. If we change the ligand or if we change the metal, then different complexes are formed. It is also explained by Werner. It also explains the different properties of each complexes. Next, third application is it predicts the structure of different complexes with coordination numbers 4 and 6. That is, when 6 secondary valencies are there, then the structure will be octahedral. 4 secondary valencies are there, its structure may be square planar or tetrahedral. The last postulate of Werner's theory not only provided the explanation of isomerism but also predicted the existence of isomers of types which had not previously been observed. We studied geometrical isomerism in organic compounds till now, but Werner's theory explains the isomerism, existence of geometrical and optical isomerism in coordination compounds. For this, I am giving one example. I am taking the example of CONH3 4 times Cl2 plus. See this molecule. In this molecule, the two chloride ions are opposite to each other. In this complex, the two chloride ions are adjacent to each other. When two chloride ions are opposite to each other, such complex is trans. When two chloride ions are adjacent to each other, such complex is cis. These two isomers are known as geometrical isomers. These are 6 coordination number complexes. Next, I am giving the 4 coordination number complex, platinum complex, platinum NH3 twice Cl2. It exists in two forms, cis and trans. In this molecule, both chlorine atoms or both ammonia molecules are adjacent to each other, so it is in the cis form. In this complex, both chlorine atoms or both ammonia molecules are opposite to each other, so it is in the trans form. Next, limitations. It does not explain, this theory has two limitations. First one is, it does not explain the cause of various properties like color, geometry and magnetic properties of coordination complexes. Why it does not explain the cause. Color exists due to which reason, geometry due to which reason, magnetic properties due to which reason. The cause is not explained. Second one is Werner has no theoretical justification for his proposed theory. Werner proposed a theory, but his theory has no theoretical justification. These two are the limitations of this theory. These are the list of reference books for this topic. Coincides Coordination Chemistry by Gopalan and Ramalingam. Second one is Coordination Chemistry by Basalo and Johnson. Third one is Coincides Inorganic Chemistry by J.D. Lee. Fourth one is Advanced Inorganic Chemistry Volume 1 by Satyaprakash Tuli, Basu and Matan. Thank you.